3AW footy highlights for McDonald.
Got a little handball out. Is that Guelphy having a snap at goal? It's a goal. It's Fantasia, the man that got it onto the boot. So there's your first goal. It's going to be Mason Wood to snap, and he kicks the goal for the Kangaroos. Big Cunnington moves in. He's directly in front, and he puts through North Melbourne's second goal. Big kick from Myers from outside the fifth. It's a ripper. It's a terrific finish. No mark that time to Zeeble. He picks it up though and snaps it. He goals it.
Little one out to Wood round the body. Another goal to North Melbourne. Oh, magnificent snap that time. Was that Fantasia again?
Yes,
I reckon it might have been for one of the best goals of the year.
He opens up the angle. Fantasia's got another one. Myers who goes for another goal, and he's got it. It's cleared the line. It's a great finish. Phil Chambers is there on the line. And the big fella takes it point blank range, moves in for the Bombers, and they're in front. Cunnington off a step, and he kicks one late in the quarter for North Melbourne.
Welcome back to Sunday afternoon football. Near enough a full house here at Etihad Stadium, all thanks to McDonald's. North Melbourne 7-2-44, Essendon 6-2-38. Mick Warner on the boundary line, please. An injury update, if there is one, please, for Morris Blackburn Lawyers.
Tony, no injuries in that quarter, but which was as Lengy said, the highest first quarter for scoring of the season. It prompted Nathan Buckley, the Collingwood coach, to jump on Twitter and say, Richo, you'll love this. So glad we made those rule changes. Wait, what? Funnily enough, the man who was pushing for those rule changes, the new footy boss, your old footy boss at Geelong, Steve Hocking, he's down here in the dugout. He saw it firsthand. You can still kick goals in this game. So,
well said,
a good day for the game.
I want to know who best to field is for Rain and Horn. Rain with the knee, Horn with the knee. For residential, commercial, business sales to the north in Sunbury, right down deep into the peninsula. I want a name each from both you as best to field for Rain and Horn.
Well, can I give you two from North Melbourne? Richie, I'll give you two from Essendon. I'm going Higgins and Cunnington, no doubt, from the Kangaroos.
Yeah, you have to go Fantasia, who's kicked 3, Orazio and Myers. Terrific game, 9 touches, 2 goals.
We start the second quarter of a wonderful shootout in the first for Tyre Power. Here's Matty Granlund.
Well, let's hope it continues, Tone, and we're in the middle. It's going to be Bagley to share it with Heppel, and Heppel's going to get the first centre clearance for the Bombers. He goes up. McKernan had to really lunge at that, and a slips catch it was. And he takes the mark for the Bombers, and he's 40 metres out directly in front.
Nice safe hands. Low at second slip there, Matty. You're right. That was a good take by McKernan. Going away from Majak Dora. It was a nice kick inside forward 50, because, again, it was low and hard, not just bombing it up high and allowing Dore and Tarrant and all those players to come off and help each other. And if he slots this one, we can start the second quarter the way the first quarter went. This is going to be a beauty.
To an absolute towering mark in that opening quarter did McKernan on the runway now. He's directly in front. And there's your first goal, and it comes in the first minute of the second quarter, and the shootout continues at Etihad Stadium, and scores are level. It is 7-2, 44 apiece.
The crucial bit, Richo, has been Essendon's ball use going forward. You said they were going to find it hard to score if they went in long and high constantly. They've been so smart with their ball use.
Yeah, they have. And the mark's inside 55 to Essendon, but I haven't seen them bomb the ball to a contest at all, really. They've picked targets. The one to Tip and Woody in the first quarter. Fantasia's got on the end of one in the pocket. They haven't gone high and long and let those big North Melbourne defenders have their way, Dore and obviously Tarrant and Thompson.
So scores level. A minute 37 gone, second quarter. For Tyre Power, and Tyre Power, know your tyres. Bell Chambers maybe nice the tap. It was Merritt. Quick hands. Myers, long to full forward. Scott Thompson able to get back for North Melbourne and cut it off. Can spread it wider still to Tarrant. Yeah, go Cam.
No, Tarrant hasn't taken a mark. Dore hasn't taken a mark.
He went by hand to Murphy of North Melbourne, slung in a tackle, and the handball puts Tarrant under pressure. Goes back to Simpkin round the body, almost to the wing on the dock side, but it's going to be an Essendon mark coming through defensively. Hurley's got the ball, the middle of the ground, doesn't quite present to his liking, so Matty's quite happy to go short and get the ball to Goddard.
So Brendan Goddard, a little false start there, looks up and given the hurry up now. So he sends it to the pocket, and good mark, Majak Dore just held his ground and knew it was coming in. Takes it in the back pocket for the Kangaroos.
That's that long high one you've just been talking about, Richard.
Yeah, if they avoid that, they're going to be in this game a long time.
Scores level, 44 each after 2 minutes, second quarter.
He's turned it over. He's kicked it straight back to Goddard as Majak Dore. And Goddard gets on with things. Handball to Hurley. Hurley inside the 50, and Devon Smith unguarded he's able to take the mark and he'll go back and line up.
And not for the first time, too easy going inside attacking 50 Essendon, making it look easy.
Because they sifted back.
Without embarrassing him, sometimes it's a pleasure sitting next to Richo. Just a four-line understanding. The kick, the previous one, went long and high. Matt Jack Door marks it. Completely different entry there from Michael Hurley. A set shot, simple shot at goal for the Bombers. It is the key to today's game.
And Door was sifting back, wanting it long.
He moves in from 40. Bit of an angle there to deal with. That one hit the woodwork from Devon Smith and a minor score. So 1 point on the Tyre Power scoreboard. Essendon go to 7-3-45. Break the leg lock. 7-2-44 the Kangas.
Earlier this afternoon, St Kilda by 2 points over Melbourne, 119 to 117. High scores the order of this Sunday afternoon. Long on the kick in North Melbourne to half-back. Mitch Brown, Essendon, carted off, gave to Heppel. He can nearly goal from there. 48 metres out. Hairpull across the face, though. Williams gets back, takes it. Can go wider to Simpkin. Simpkin for North Melbourne outside defensive 50. Odgie Murphy kept running and stolen, though, by McDonald, Tip and Woody. Great pass. And on the lead, McKernan has got it again. And please go, Matthew. I was just going to say it's a little bit easy for him at the moment, Essendon.
You can't miss a 5-metre handball by 3 metres. And that just was a horrible turnover, and you're always going to have players out because all the North defenders had run to create, and you miss a 5-metre handball. That is very ordinary. You wouldn't miss that in the Eastern Districts League. Seriously, that was a horrible handball.
McKernan, who's had to battle to get back in, but he did his time in the VFL, kicked goals, and since coming in, been very, very good. For his second goal of the afternoon, and has delivered. So Sean McKernan has 2. He joins David Myers with 2, Fantasia 3, Bell Chambers 1, Essendon 8. 8-3-51 the Bombers over North Melbourne 7-2-44. It's Ash and the team at Eltham Tyre Power. They know your tyres. Cameron Ling knows footy. And after a 6-point margin to North Melbourne quarter time, 5 minutes have elapsed here, Cam, and it's all Essendon who are out to a 7-point lead.
It is all Essendon. 6 inside 50s to 0 this quarter, and it's coming from the clearances. 2-0, 2 centre bounce clearances straight to Essendon. They're just pumping it in there and then locking it in there and kick those couple of goals on the back of it.
9 inside 50s in a row.
All those numbers for Corrimal Windsor Caravan with the margin 7 in favour of the Bombers. We're back in the middle, and that's a poor bounce. The umpire will recall it and toss it up in the air. So take 2. Up it goes. Goldstein and Bill Chambers. Goldstein wins it down. Cunnington couldn't take it cleanly. Good work by Higgins. Got it to Jamont, who puts it up inside the 50 for North Melbourne. Ben Brown with a one hand, and Brown looks like he's ended up with a free kick here in the marking contest.
This got paid a lot yesterday, and I'm glad it has. He was clearly being held by one arm, and that's where the umpires in these attacking 50s will make sure the game keeps flowing.
Yeah, you called it well, Tone, on the Yarra Valley and Croydon Toyota replay. Carl Hooker just grabbed a hold of his arm. No question at all there. Well umpired.
That was what Wadey was talking about, fighting through contests, and he did that really well there. Brown drew the free.
Yeah, just didn't want to give him a jump at the footy, Carl Hooker. Brown is on his long runway. He moves up the tarmac and kicks from 48 metres directly in front, and straight through it goes. So Ben Brown has kicked his first goal of the afternoon for North Melbourne. And the Kangaroos, they go to 8-2-50, Essendon 8-3-51.
Got to give Carl Hooker a little credit there, Richo. His work on the mark there was, he was committed to it. He was trying everything there to try and put Benny Brown off, but he's got his routine, nailed it beautifully. That's going to be a fascinating matchup all day because talk about having to fight through and get that front spot. He's going to have to work hard because Carl Hooker is such a big, strong bloke.
Just a great defender, Carl Hooker. They tried him forward early in the year, but he's back where he belongs. All-Australian defender.
And he makes Michael Hurley better by being back there.
Absolutely, he does.
His first of the day, 41 for the season. And from the restart, North Melbourne clear as Anderson goes long at the front. Hooker almost completing the mark. Pack of players just collapse on top of the football. Lingy 35 out, Northern or former Melbourne Remand Centre end, North into attack.
Feels like today is a good day to win the clearances because both attacks are on fire when you get it in there first.
Essendon by a point. Yes. Goldstein, magnificent tap to Turner, and he's rolled it through. I don't think it touched the padding, it didn't, and North Melbourne now back in front with the pancake parlour goal of the day.
Lovely.
Great stuff from Kane Turner then, and it did certainly flirt, Richo, with that sort of right goalpost. but just took the right bounce at the last, and this wonderful shootout continues.
Is that Farmer to Goggin then?
With Todd Goldstein, magnificent.
That's as good as it gets as far as ruck rover combination. And great finish.
Yeah.
And you win the clearances today, and you're going to win the game. Neither defence can win the ball back today.
I'm glad when Kane Turner did his big lap of celebration there, he eventually got back to Todd Goldstein and said, thank you.
That's what ruck work is. That is just an example of great ruck work.
Kangaroos back in front by 5 points. This game is pretty special at the moment. Here's McDonald, takes it for North Melbourne. Handball to Ahern. Ahern's going to put a high one up inside the 50 for the Kangaroos. Ben Brown won't take it. D got back, couldn't clear onto the mark though. Mason Wood pounces, snaps, another one for Mason Wood.
I thought that was a mark.
We'll have to have a look at that, Lingy, on the Yarra Valley and Croydon Toyota replay. I think he had that long enough. Ben Brown tapped it late. Brendan Goddard is not happy.
Yeah, he's filthy, Brendan Goddard.
He can be not happy at times. Old BJ.
So a goal, that's his third. Mason Wood has they go to 10-2-62 North Melbourne, 8-3-51. What have you seen, boys, as you have a slower look at it?
Just waiting for the replay to come up, Matty. Sure, well, here it comes now. Yarra Valley and Croydon Toyota. Lingy, what do you think?
Oh, gee, it's 50-50.
Touch and go.
He had a fair go at it, but it almost wasn't quite long enough. I've seen those paid. I've seen those paid before, but Mason Wood doesn't care. He's got his third.
Ahern out of the middle, kicks it, but met by Matt D at half-back for Essendon. Handball to Merritt, to Sada, just squares wide. Goddard to Langford. Neat sidestep. Now long. Essendon now into attack. Lot of, North Melbourne player just barreled in the back.
So that's not the ball, though.
Mitch Brown thought it might have been a little shepherd, but I thought Tarrant had established his position and Brown came at him too quickly.
Brown's saying that Scotty Thompson pushed him first, which he had a fair point.
Yeah.
Scotty Thompson, he gets away with it.
Don't you love him, though?
Tone, that's Scotty 101.
Oh, yeah, that's right. And he's straight out of the University of Brian Lake. To the middle of the ground, North go long. Ryan Clark read it off the pack. Goes towards Ben Brown. Good defensive mark, Essendon. Hooker has got the ball. Handball Hurley. Goddard. And now it is one bounce this time. The Bombers trying to go out of attack. Or from defence to attack. McKenna's kick, excellent. Merritt, handball. Now McKenna's kept running. This is a 100-metre run. Handball to Mitch Brown. About to be tackled. Goes to Stringer. Tumbles it toward full forward. McKernan in front. Tries to knock it away. Ball ricocheted back to him. Over the shoulder, McKernan goes. Oh, you've got to be kidding. He will never kick another goal in his life, McKernan, whether it's here at Essendon or out the back of Balranald or something like that where he's got a stack of mates. That is a pancake parlour goal of the day.
Lovely.
And if I put any mayonnaise on that, Talbot boys, I have not.
No, you haven't put any mayo on that, Tone. It was still very humorous. So, and he must be feeling it because he burnt about 3 of his teammates for the handball. But when you're feeling it, why not slot it home? He was never going to miss. Richard?
Remember the old school coaches rule that every coach in the world had no U-turns? They don't exist anymore.
Yeah, no, Sean McKernan all the way, not quite Balranald, in the over the border in New South Wales, Tullamarine. But you
Where's he from? Where the
Tullamarine.
Are they?
Not far off.
Where'd you get that from?
I have no idea. Someone told me he came from Balranald.
You said Balnarring.
No, Balranald.
Here's Myers sorting it out with Zach Merritt. He kicks the half forward. Collier is able to take the mark, top of the 50. He turns around, he wheels and goes, top of the goal square. McKernan back there with Daw. Daw made a contest of it. McKernan goes again. He might snap another one here. It's bouncing though, getting back. Here's Jamont just to sort it out for North Melbourne. He'll clear it to Higgins.
He's in a little zone at the moment.
He's feeling it.
There's been a zone here all weekend, hasn't there? Jack Rewalt was in it, and now McKernan's in it.
It's like Whoopi Goldberg in Ghost. She's just feeling it. He is a beauty as he goes toward the wing. But she was the mediator between her and Patrick Swayze and Demi Moore, that's right. And McKernan, he's feeling it. As Atley wins it at half-back. Goes toward the middle of the ground. Well done, Thompson. Handball, Goldstein.
Goldie go.
Now, he can go up the middle of the ground. Doesn't over-kick it on the bounce. Ben Brown's got it. The big arc. He's gone wide. Not sure who. Outside attacking 50. Pushed off the ball. McDonald of North Melbourne. Little pick up by Guelphy. And he goes toward the wing. Mitch Brown can't get there. Sean McKernan applies the block. Mitch Brown comes through. Handball to Langford on the wing. Stringer, good around the body stuff. Madge Door a little caught out of position. Reckon he was hanging on. Fell over Madge. Picked up though as Bagley receives a handball. To full forward it goes. Collier's got it. Yeah, I'd pay that.
He dropped it. Dean Margetts didn't like it.
Oh, I'd sense a riot about to erupt here. Essendon fans are not happy.
Take us through. Okay, he's had 1, 2, 3.
He dropped it.
Hit the deck.
Dean Margetts was right there, the umpire. Well done.
So it's 20 out, Essendon into attack.
And there is the ball up, top of the goal square. Collier might try and get one here off the pack. He couldn't. And then Stringer just sees it over, ashes it over. We're going to have a throw in right forward pocket. There's the boos for the Bombers fans.
They'd be as correct as the blokes up at the Royal at the moment saying it
plastic
was a mark.
Pots today?
No, it's not plastic pots at the moment because North only lead by 5 points.
Yeah, 5 points to the margin in favour of North Melbourne. Here's McKernan slapping it toward the goal line. Madge Door under sufficient enough pressure to rush it through for a point. As they go to 9-4-58, the Bombers. North Melbourne are 10-62.
Mick Warner on the boundary line for the Master Builders.
So that first quarter is actually the highest scoring in 6 years, and I reckon we're on track in this second quarter to break another one.
It's good stuff at the moment. Tarrant Long on the kick in. Good mark at halfback Goldstein. North Melbourne 10-2-62. Essendon 9-4-58. Tyre Power scoreboard. Ash and the team out at Eltham Tyre Power. Bringing you the second quarter as Goldstein goes back to full back. Scotty Thompson's there. Gives a 20-metre pass to right. He's going to go back to Scotty Thompson, who is still at full back. Now he goes out to the city side. Half-back Goldstein can't complete the mark. They've marked it up. Guelphy handball. A chance now for Langford round the body. Should goal actually from there. And just missed. 9-5-59 Essendon. North Melbourne 10-2-62. Tyre Power scoreboard. Matty, we're going 15 minutes, second quarter.
Anderson to Higgins, who had to really stand underneath that as Stringer was bearing down on him. Took the contact though, Higgins, and then went backwards to Wright, and Wright is going to go the other direction, switch things up. He goes short to Thompson, who's got it still inside defensive 50. With the Kangas leading it by 4 points. So Thompson out to the city side is going to head with that kick. A long probing ball it is too. Goldstein the target. McKernan got there with a nice spoil at the death, and it's over for a boundary throw-in out there on the wing.
Goldie's had a few touches since Belchambers has been on the bench. He's made the most of not having his main ruck foe next to him.
3AW footy, thanks to Maccas, with North Melbourne leading by 4 points.
Is that wrong?
Bit of that Vietnamese soup.
Ball comes back in. Kangas have got possession here. He is again. Higgins. He's going to place it inside the 50. And Mason Wood is going to take a ripper.
Was he a foe, Tone, or have I got that wrong?
It's a foe, yeah.
He just had
normally we use words like opponent, but foe we use.
Todd Goldstein, just a little one on Zach Merritt, a hip and shoulder. And I suppose it was more the height discrepancy there that meant that Goldstein's shoulder ended up getting Merritt in the head.
It's like Mitchell and Goldstein reversed.
Yep, and Merritt straight up, so that's a good thing for Goldstein.
This will be his third, Matty, I think.
This will be his fourth.
Yeah.
Jeez, he's sneaking up on me.
So Mason Wood is moving in. He's directly in front. That one he misses, way left.
He just did a lot of them too, Matty.
It was. So minor score for the Kangaroos as they travel along to 10-3-63. The Bombers are 9-5-59. 16 gone, second quarter.
Hooker marks the short kick in. Goes back to Sardi. Ran himself into trouble. Rovat wants to go round the body. He should kick it because he burnt a couple along the way. And I don't know who's going to be giving him the daggers, but someone was running past for the handball. Rovat took it upon himself, missed. And one behind result, 64-59.
A lot of U-turns going on at the moment in this game.
Hookett marked the kick in. Collier rose, but Goldstein having a beauty. His kick smothered, though, by Collier, who went back and got it. Quick handball to McGrath. A sweeping one to the boundary line. Devon Smith just sees it out of bounds. Fabulous game in progress here. North Melbourne 64, Essendon 59. Tyre Power scoreboard. Earlier today, a belter at the MCG. St Kilda 119 defeating Melbourne 117. Dockers and Brisbane still to come. Fabulous Sunday afternoon of football. Ball on the wing. Essendon about to go forward.
McKernan, he gives it, just almost hands it to Goddard, who kicks it to Mitch Brown. Presents up well, takes it on the dockside wing, and then a wide ball. Mark has been taken by Mize. We know he can thump it. This one goes into the forward pocket for Stringer. Tarrant botted him well, and then coming through McDonald, Tip and Woody. What about the handball to Merritt? That was a party trick.
What just happened?
Merritt kicked the goal, and the handball was extraordinary. Unbelievable stuff. An incredible goal. A pancake parlour goal of the day.
Lovely. Almost team goal of the year, this. McDonald, Tip and Woody with the party trick handball, and Zach Merritt with a beautiful dribbling goal. That was amazing.
Those sort of forward handballs now and just getting it moving, Richmond have been good at it over the last 18 months, and that was good from McDonald, Tip and Woody, and then Merritt even better.
Well, whatever has ailed football, they've found the antidote this weekend. This is just a continuing feast of Aussie rules.
Etihad's been the venue, hasn't it?
Well, it has. 1 point is the margin. Essendon leads 65-64. And we're only at the 18-minute mark, second quarter. Devon Smith through traffic. Got a little handball, tied up, and rather so was Kyle Langford. Still in the middle of the ground. As Essendon going to the southern end. Flipped out the back by McKernan. Read by Clark of North Melbourne, who got the ball to Dumont, who got it to Wright, and then McMillan. McMillan's kick to the wing. Rovat, can he break away from Saad? No. Handball under pressure to Anderson, who's gone straight to the boundary line. Ball somehow remains in. Little handball comes out. Essendon retrieve it. McGrath bravely through traffic, took some heat and gave a great one to McKenna. Up the ground they go again. McKenna to Devon Smith. 55 metres out. Got there! What a goal to the Bombers! Devon Smith, a beauty. And they open up a little margin. 11-5-71, the Bombers. The Roos 10-4-64. Just fabulous, fabulous football. Yep, it was a genuine pancake parlour goal of the day. Lovely. Devon Smith, with Essendon's great move. They bit off a bit to get him, and he has repaid them in 15 games by plenty.
Yeah, he's been huge this year. His pressure is massive as well around the contest, but running goals like that, he can do that. He can find the footy. That was superb play from the Bombers. Good by McGrath too, who drew the initial contact, opened up the corridor for them. Nice shepherd on the goal line too from Jakey Stringer for it to carry over. Wow, what a game.
Yeah, 7-point lead to the Bombers now. We're back in the middle. Who can break free? It's going to be the Bombers again. It's Merritt and it's Stringer. Takes the mark, the juggler. But he takes it top of the 50 and well within his range as he goes back confidently to have a shot at goal.
Too right it is.
He was confident, wasn't he? As soon as he marked it, he just said, let's settle down. I'll just go back and slot this.
Neither team can slow the pace of the opposition up here at all, can they?
No.
It's just a flat to the floor game.
It's funny how players can work it out and get footy going again.
Yeah. Okay, let's see what Jake Stringer can do from long range here. He's going to kick from outside the 50. It's a monster. It's a big kick. It's a goal. Wow. A big bomb from outside the 50 to Jake Stringer. Was never in doubt. And a little buffer now for Essendon as they go to 12-5-77 North Melbourne, 10-4-64, 21 gone second quarter.
It's not often you see 100 before lunch.
No, well,
in cricket, we're nearly going to see 100 before half time today.
I did see a little thing today, just some reminiscing about yesteryear. Round 16, 2001, Richo.
Yeah.
North led at half-time in that game, 16 goals to 12. Essendon came from 69 points down that day to win it.
I remember that game.
Both teams are scoring heavily at the moment, but it's got that kind of feel about it, the scoring ability at the moment.
And we get a recalled boundary throw up. So for Tyre Power, know your tyres.
Duck and Lloydie go sick that day.
I think they did.
22 minutes, second quarter.
I think Lloydie would like us to tell us about it.
Essendon by 13 points, back in the middle of the ground. It's a little kick off the deck that time. Zeeble goes toward the wing. Devon Smith picked it up, taken by Ryan Clark. Devon Smith goes again. They're losing ground, North Melbourne, but they've got onto the ball now. A little dribble at that time from Zeeble. Rove at half forward, inside attacking 50, can't pick it up. Stack of players in there. Ambrose came in hard. McGrath tries to clear. It was about 15 metres for the Bombers. Mitch Brown came through with the footy. He's tackled. He's brought to the ground. It has to be a stoppage. So it's at the point of the square attacking. North Melbourne into attack to the northern end of the ground. 77 Essendon, 64 North Melbourne.
Lloydie did kick 9 that day.
So we're going to get another stoppage, I reckon. Matty, as the ball failing to come out. McGrath trying to release it. So we're at the 23-minute mark. There is still 6 minutes of playing time remaining second quarter. Essendon by 13 points.
Stringer wins that one. Langford able to get the handball out to McGrath. Just explodes away from that congestion. And he kicks it out in the wing for Bagley. That's a good mark. And he hits the ground running. He's been claimed in the tackle.
Great tackle.
Yeah, had a head of steam up that time, did Bagley. And Clark, I think the young man was laying the tackle on him. And he ends up with a free kick, Ryan Clark.
Did the right thing, Bagley. Played on. Tried to take the game on. Nothing wrong with getting run down in that situation. Trying to open things up.
So kick to half forward for North Melbourne. Only man flying was McKernan, who took the mark uncontested. To Sard, to D, and now to Collier as they move it out to the Medallion Club side. Kenner had to really reach for that, and he's taken it backward of the wing. He wants to get on with things. Mark taken by Langford. Langford wants to give it off by hand again to McKenna, who's running past. And he kicks up. Presenting is Fantasia. 75 from home. He's got Stringer on a lead and got him. And Stringer takes the mark. He'll go back and line up 49 out, 45-degree angle.
And see that, Scotty Thompson there, when he has to defend on the lead, he started to look like a veteran.
Yeah.
He just couldn't go with a younger, quicker opponent there on the lead. And the ball use has been good.
He wants that help, doesn't he?
Yeah,
Tarrant and Dore all working together.
They can't get over and help. The ball use is too good, too quick.
Well, this would be a very handy little lead if Stringer could kick this. Kicked a big one from outside the 50 not long ago. This time he's going to kick from 50. Oh, that's coming back. It's a goal. Started left, came back right, and sailed through. Another one for Jake Stringer. He's got 2 goals. And the Bombers go to 13-5, 83. North Melbourne 10-4, 64.
Went around a short time ago, maybe about 15, 16 into the first quarter. North Melbourne led by 20. Essendon now lead by 19. Where's the turnaround?
Huge turnaround in contested possession. So start right at the source there. I think Richo mentioned at that point.
It's minus 19 at one point, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was somewhere up there. And then they've just completely reversed it. Back to even now. And then the uncontested possessions linking up as well. Merritt's getting his hands on it. Myers has been good from the start. Young Langford's been playing well. And it's the ball use. Inside forward 50. Yeah. Richo spoke about it before the game, and it's been outstanding.
They've taken 8 marks inside 50.
Back in the middle, Bell Chambers, the tap. Staying down there, Hearn, handball, Goldstein. Spinning out of the pack was Higgins. A 25-metre kick towards sort of centre-half forward. Simpkin can't complete it. Toe poke that time then by Anderson. Knocked forward by Anderson of North Melbourne. Handball from Turner missed its mark and turned over. McDonald, Tippenwood, he got it. Devon Smith through traffic was good. Still in the middle of the ground. Higgins came through, but Guelphy saw the handball and his little toe poke effective. Found its way to Mitch Brown of Essendon. Gave to Bagley. The pass is on. The man with the hot hand at the moment, Stringer, who's kicked Essendon's last 2 goals. And he is taking Scotty Thompson to places further up the field than Scott would like. It's out of bounds, right on attacking 50 for the Bombers. Half forward southern end, 26.5 gone second quarter. Essendon 83, North Melbourne 64.
Ball back into play. Goldstein takes it cleanly, couldn't get a handball away, and then handcuffs Collier, and then rammed him into the turf, and that's a shove in the back. The umpire is deemed. Goldstein getting up, quizzically having a look at the umpire and arguing his case, shaking his head.
Cam, I want to question about the pace of the game in the first half affecting the second half shortly.
Collier, Fantasia went for a jump, some big elevation off hands, and we're going to have a throw in 49 metres around from goal.
It has to have an impact, Tony, because the fatigue levels will be high, but I almost don't care because this first half has been that good. They can do what they like in the second half.
It's been awesome. 19 points, the Bombers lead. It's inside their 50 as the umpire throws it back into play again. Bill Chambers wins it down straight to Simpkin now of North Melbourne, who kicks it to the wing.
Oh, well done.
Worth Ben Brown just to slap it on. Atlee is able to gather. Give the handball off. Turner will go with the talk, or he'll spiral. It's an unguarded goal square. It's tumbling that way. Ambrose getting back at speed and did it well. Controlled it, gave it to Hurley. Hurley now clearing. No mark. Langford was in the mix there for the Bombers. Picking it up, Simpkin, and now Atlee. He faked the handball, then went short. Picked up here by Hearn. Hearn just puts it onto the boot, top of the goal square. It goes again. Hurley, he'll gather it in the back pocket, and he clears again for the Bombers. And Langford takes the mark at halfback.
He does indeed. Tyre Power scoreboard, 83 Essendon, 64 North Melbourne. Switch of play to Heppel, still in defensive 50, but got an overlap runner on the outside, City side. Goddard waits, just his little circle, drew a man, gave it back to Matt D of Essendon. Then a 25-metre pass, this time should be a free to right. Bagley was clearly caught behind, and the push in the back. Will it really start to kick in? I know they can't keep this up. So would you think a 3-goal lead Bombers, this time it's not a match-winning lead, but if they can hang on to it, will be hard for North Melbourne to get back?
Yeah, it's not match-winning, certainly, Tone, but it'll be handy, given the fatigue will set in hard in the second half.
So it is a mark at half-back to Essendon.
I've loved the fact that the Bombers have played with such speed. It's what's isolated a couple of those North Melbourne defenders.
I'm prepared to say 2 minutes to go to half-time. I reckon Essendon have broken North Melbourne.
So you've called it, Tom.
Wow. I'm going to call it. The pace, neither side can keep it up. So they can hang on to a 3-goal margin. I reckon it's going to be match-winning at half-time.
All right, we'll revisit that.
I'm sure you will, especially if I'm wrong. Hurley took the mark to half-back he goes. Heppel at the back, can't complete the mark. First to recover, though, Heppel has to shovel out a handball. It was good, goes back to D. Goddard waits, spun out of trouble, got a block, and can go on the City side wing to McDonald, Tip and Woody. North Melbourne off the pack are going to send it back, though, through Big Majak, who kicks it high to half forward. Simpkin lurks from the side. Hurley tries to knock to the boundary line. Goddard is there. Just handed it off neatly that time. Essendon cleared the pack through Ambrose to wing half forward. Stringer's got it. He wants to give it off by hand. Bagley can go in board. He does to Fantasia. Over the top, Mitch Brown. Can he get away from McMillan? Great tackle, McMillan. Handball goes back to Stringer. Runs away from goal. Gets it back round the body. Is that going to be 1 point? I think it was Fantasia again. It was Fantasia who just missed left and would have put the game beyond doubt.
You talk about fatigue, Tone. About 6 players, hands on their knees, bent over after that. All those efforts. There are some cooked players out there.
Yep. It's 13-6-84 Essendon, 10-4-64 North Melbourne on the Tyre Power scoreboard.
Williams brings it back into play for North. There's no mark, but Clark was able to get the handball away, and Simpkin darts away with a bounce. He was able to win it back. He loops a handball to Clark. Clark gets it on, but on the intercept, Matt D comes the other way, wins it back for the Bombers, gives it to Heppel, hurries it inside the 50, and a good mark. McMillan had Mitch Brown bearing coming back on him, and he just clears it to Cunnington, takes a centre half back for North Melbourne. 2
goal saving efforts that time, Richo, from McMillan, back to back.
Yeah, very good. That was a good mark there. He was under the pump from Brown. Geez, I reckon North would like to make it a bit more of a territory type game in the second half. I think if the pace is on like this, Tony will be right with his call that North are gone, but they need to take a bit of heat out of it like they just have here for 30 seconds or so.
There is Simpkin. He kicks the half forward. Again, there's nothing at home for North Melbourne, and the Bombers have got it covered. Back to Hurley, pretty much at full back, as we're waiting for siren time. Goes to Bagley. Oh, caught the clip too from Goldstein. One across the chops there by the big ruckman. He's hurt too, Mark Bagley. And what do you think of that, boys? Anything sinister in that? There's a bit of push and shove too after the event. They're coming in to remonstrate with big Todd Goldstein. I don't think it's going to amount to much though.
It's fizzling out.
Yep.
Yeah.
So half-time here at Etihad Stadium, and it is the Bombers 13-6-84 leading North Melbourne 10-4-64, a 20-point margin at half-time.
Second quarter brought to you by Tyre Power. Asking the team out at Eltham Tyre Power. Know your tyres. 13-6-84 Essendon, North Melbourne 10-4-64. This has been some game, and the push and shove continues on, to be fair.
Got a little bit more momentum there.
It looked clumsy rather than malicious.
You just need a loose type operator to get it going again.
Why does number 16 of North Melbourne jump into your head?
Oh, number 25 for Essendon having a bit to say as well.
Yeah, no, it's just fizzled out. 13-6-84 at half-time Essendon. Brilliant half of football from both teams. North Melbourne 10-4-64. Fans of both teams stand up and applaud what has been magnificent, end-to-end, exciting Australian rules football so far. So, 10-4-64 North Melbourne trail. Essendon 13-6 84. We'll do the halftime wrap for Sheen Panel Service. We'll give our votes for Rain and Horn, who is best to field to halftime, and check in also with Nat Edwards as she can reflect on St Kilda's wonderful drought-breaking victory, 2-point win over Melbourne, 119 to 117. Stack of great footy to run right throughout this afternoon. And for McDonald's, pick up the Oz lunch deal for only $5 at Macca's. You're listening to 3AW Football.
This is the 2018 Toyota AFL Premiership season. This quarter brought to you by Tyre Power. Tyre Power, know your tyres. 3AW footy highlights for McDonald.
Magnificent tap to Turner, and he's rolled it through. I don't think it touched the padding. It didn't, and North Melbourne now back in front.
Mason Wood pounces, snaps, another one for Mason Wood.
Over the shoulder, McKernan goes, oh, you've got to be kidding. He will never kick another goal in his life, McKernan, whether it's here at Essendon or out the back of Balranald or something like that where he's got a stack of mates. That is a pancake parlour goal of the day.
McDonald tip and Wardy. What about the handball to Merritt? That was a party trick.
What just happened?
Merritt kicked the goal and the handball was extraordinary. Unbelievable stuff. An incredible goal.
McKenna to Devon Smith. 55 metres out. Got there. What a goal to the Bombers. Devon Smith, a beauty.
It's a monster. It's a big kick. It's a goal. Wow. A big bomb from outside the 50 to Jake Stringer. It was never in doubt. And we're just catching our breath here at Etihad Stadium after a frenetic first half of football. The margin 20 points in favour of Essendon. 13-6-84, the Bombers, North Melbourne 10-4-64. Cameron Lee, Matty Richardson. That is the highest scoring half of footy since 2009.
Well, there you go. And we've loved every minute of it. We've loved the range of games so far this round. Some tight struggles at times, arm wrestles that then break open, and free-flowing, high-scoring games like this. Football is a wonderful game, we know that. And the Bombers, they were so good because maybe 10 minutes into that second quarter, Richard, felt like North Melbourne had the momentum. I think Mason Wood was lining up for his fourth goal and they were going to get a nice little break there. But the Bombers just swung it back around. They won the ball around the contest. Some of their boys inside forward 50, that made their forwards so adventurous, and they were doing things, and it was all connecting perfectly together.
When they get in this sort of mood, Essendon, they can play fast, freewheeling type footy. They're really good at it. We've seen it. We saw it in round one this year when they beat Adelaide here at Etihad Stadium. They get in a roll. They can score as fast as anyone, and that's what we saw there in that period in the mid to three quarters of the way through that second quarter. They were playing that blistering type footy. Stringer got in the end of a few, kicked 2 goals, and that was as good a fast, free-flowing footy as you'll see from a side. I think going into the second half, Lingy, I think Brad Scott would like a bit more of a territory game where Cunnington can get involved, a few more stoppages. I know Cunnington's been good. He's had 13, but he had most of those in the first quarter. I think they need a bit of pace out of the game, North Melbourne.
Yeah, they were able to limit a little bit the influence of some of their key on-ballers, Essendon were, to North Melbourne, and almost took their influence out of the game. Sean Higgins only had the 6 disposals that quarter. Ben Cunnington, as you identified, Richard, only had the 1 disposal
because the
that
game
quarter.
Was too quick for Ben. It wasn't a stoppage game, and that's not his go.
Just flying around, wasn't it? And Essendon happy to play that way, and they moved the ball really well, and credit to them for doing that. But yeah, I think we'll see a little adjustment. It can't keep going at this pace.
I had a conspiracy theory, boys. I talked about this to you. I wonder if the coaches have got together, Richard, and thought with this looming threat of intervention, let's let the game go, because usually when you have halves like that, footy like that, you hear the coaches come out afterwards and say, oh, that's not the way we wanted to play. We wanted to slow it down too quick, all the rest of it. I wonder whether they go, no, we actually want it to go like that because we don't want change.
I think Woosha would like it to keep going like that today, because I think Essendon play fast footy better than North Melbourne. It doesn't suit the strengths of, like I said, Cunnington. Even Higgins is a quick player and likes to get on the burst, but he's still very good in and around a tight situation, and they have to get it a bit tighter in the second half, Matty.
And can I just say on your theory there, Matty, Mick mentioned Nathan Buckley's tweet. That is brilliant. They're so glad we made those rule changes. Wait, what? Brilliant, my Bucks. Well said.
Well, the margin 20 points here. Earlier today, it was another cracker at the MCG as we head to Nat Edwards for Europcar Nat, and a big upset at the G with the Saints beating the Demons.
Yeah, and I can report the footy is alive and well at the MCG as well today. It was such a great game. The Saints' third win for the season. The final score, St Kilda 18-11, 119 to Melbourne 18-9, 117. And the D's, well, their once promising looking season is, I guess, in danger of coming apart now. They've lost their last 3 games in a row and they're on the verge of falling out of the top 8. The Saints led by 20 points with about 5 minutes to play, but 3 late goals to the Demons and the last one to Jordan Lewis with 30 seconds to play. And the D's were really on the charge, but the Saints, they just managed to hold on. The major goal kickers for the Saints, Jade Gresham with 4, Tim Membry also kicked 4 goals, and Paddy McCartan had 2 goals. For the D's, Bailey Fritsch kicked 4, Hogan finished with 3 after a quiet first half, James Harms also kicking 3 goals, and Angus Brayshaw chiming in with 2. Now, down the other end of the ground, Jake Carlisle was absolutely outstanding for the Saints in defence. He kept in form Melbourne forward Tom McDonald to just the 1 goal and then had 22 touches and 9 marks himself. I caught up with him after yet another heart-stopping win.
Yeah, very pleased we were able to hang on. A bit stiff to concede a few late. We had a bit of control of the ball. I think once we put 1 or 2 back, they seemed to get a bit of a run on. So, we ended up going back to our structures the last probably minute and a half, and we're lucky enough to win a few contests and get it going forward and able to hang on.
About 4 minutes to go. I think you had a 20-point lead when Jack Stephen kicked that goal, and most people thought it was game over. And then Jordan Lewis has that shot with 30 seconds to go. What's going through your mind?
Well, at the time I kicked it to Lewis, so I was hoping to try and get a little bit longer. But it's pretty much a lot of pressure every time the ball went somewhere. Someone was under the pump, which is what you want footy to be. But we were lucky enough to hang on. I think we probably had too many behind the ball, but we ended up able to fix that up the last minute and a half.
You have that thrilling win against the Gold Coast, and then you have a bye, which kind of halts your momentum a little bit. Was it hard coming into today's game, given that you had that week off and you sort of wanted to continue that run from the Suns game?
No, I think that Suns game gave us good confidence heading into the bye week. There's never really a bye when you still get smashed on that Saturday or Sunday when we train anyway. But we put it back down to our pressure and our ability to actually hold tackles at times. And I felt like we put a lot of pressure on Melbourne because the first, I'd say, 3 quarters, it was coming in pretty easy. It was coming in contested, floaters and whatnot. They weren't able to get Hogan or McDonald or anyone off the chain. So I felt like our pressure and intensity around the ball was really good. And then, it's obviously going to drop away towards the end, but it was good signs that we were able to start well.
I think I saw you as one of the best players on the ground today. How did you see your own performance?
I thought it was all right. I didn't do too well, but it was more so that I was able to shut McDonald around. So, he's been a guy that's been in really good form for them. He's been pretty much a vocal point leading up and kicking a few goals as well. But I thought Dara Joyce, might have given away a couple of frees, but he competed and did his role, which is what we want him to do. So, it was a tough game, especially when Brownie went down towards the end. So we were struggling with a bit of height, but we've just gone back to defending our own opponent and then helping when we can. And I thought throughout most of the game we did that.
And nice to have someone like Jade Gresham up forward. His pressure is fantastic, but he knows how to kick a goal.
He does know how to kick a goal. You can just ask him and he'll let you know about it too. So I think he's already said the last 3 games here he's kicked 15 goals. So you'll know about it from Gresh. But he's a beauty. Like he's still building up his tank. He's got everything that a good AFL player can have, and I think it's his 3rd year now, so he's just building nicely. And all we want from him is just to put on as much pressure as possible, and the goals will come. So he's doing really well and developing into a good young player.
Great stuff today. Hopefully the Saints can build on it in the second half of the year.
Thanks, Nat.
A very modest Jake Carlisle there, and that is because he gets my 5 votes in the Rain and Horn Stakes. A terrific performance from him. 4 votes goes to Jack Billings, 3 to Jade Gresham for those 4 goals, 2 votes to Max Gawn. He was absolutely terrific. 11 marks, 7 of those contested today, and the 1 vote to Angus Brayshaw for the D's. Boys?
Great work, Nat, and what a day for the St Kilda Footy Club. That Nat Edwards wrapping things up there for Europe Car in the middle of our half-time break, all thanks to Sheen Panel Service. Make sure you have your choice of repairer. You can call Sheen Panel Service, sheengroup.com.au. 20 points to margin at half-time here between the Bombers and the Kangas. We'll hear more from Matthew Richardson and Cameron Ling after the break. They'll give us who's in the running for the Rain and Horn player of the game after the break. Rain and Horn for residential, commercial or business sales. Second half not too far away. On the way to the break, let's head to the 3AW newsroom. Here's Melissa Polomini.